Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Abbey, and it's under the command of Firehawk 0212. Now, the last time we saw this Arty, he was putting a round right up the exhaust pipe of True Voodoo on Sand River. Yes, he took out a streamer and community contributor on the North America server, with one shot right up his exhaust pipe, got a max roll because the shell went straight through his vehicle, blew him to pieces. And what was funnier was that True Voodoo was streaming at the time, and so we had both his reaction and that of Firehawk 0212 as he fired the round. Okay, he's maxed to his firing position. Okay, well, he's looking towards the Abbey at the moment, and an enemy tank's turned up on the river road, and oh, he's just had to move the vehicle a bit to adjust the aim, and he does it again, and that causes the reticule to bloom quite big. He's going after a shot on that Centurion 1, dialing in, rounds out, and yet again we've got this problem with no tracer for the Arty shell. Now, I think this is a problem that's happened since 1.9, and I don't believe it's actually connected with the mods, because sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't, so occasionally you'll see a tracer, but most of the time you don't see anything at all, and you just see the damage appear on the enemy tank. It only happens intermittently, so occasionally you will see it. He's going for the Centurion 1 again, rounds out, and yet again no tracer. Just see some damage on the Centurion 1, so we know the shell got close to him but didn't actually kill him. Well, he's firing 8-inch shells which are capable of 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armor, and they've got a burst radius of 11.1 meters, and he's only using the standard HE. Okay, his next target is an IS-7 over on the west side of the map. Object 257 behind him. He's got lighter armor actually. Rounds out on the IS-7, and we saw a tracer this time. 310 hit points. It looked like it hit the side of the IS-7. Extending his aim again, trying to look for the targets. Yeah, the IS-7's still stunned. Oh yes, you can see the mark. There's a yellow mark on the side of the vehicle where the shell landed. Now, the reload time, if I remember correctly, is something like about 35 seconds. Oh, we've seen a T-28 prototype. Came up behind the IS-7 and gave him a nudge. And, well, Firehawk wants a shot at that T-28 now. He's dialing in. It's a difficult shot. He's firing past a rock. But he does manage to get 331 hit points from a near miss. Adjusts his position to avoid counter battery. Looks like he's going to go for the IS-7 again. Always good hitting tanks when they're grouped together. You get more damage because you might hit two tanks with one shot. Okay, he's going for the IS-7. Rounds out. And he direct hit on the target because there was no explosion as it impacted. And he's changing position again. Now, if you're wondering about this skin, by the way, that's a skin that was produced by Sir Rusty, and it's an exact copy of, or either Sir Rusty or Jazz, direct copy of an Arty that was seen in one of the Chieftain's videos. He's got a video on the M53, M55. If you look at that, you'll see those markings on the side of the vehicle. Rounds out in the Object 257, and 417 hit points of splash. He's looking over on the far west channel now because there's a couple of enemy tanks that are actually grouping together. Oh, now there's a nice target to hit. That's the Heshbon, the FB4005 Stage 2, and they've got very, very thin turrets. If you can hit the turret, you actually do a lot of damage. You might even get a penetrating shot and a max roll. Unfortunately, he only splashed that one. It's always a good idea as an Arty player to look for targets which you know have very weak armor. If you can overmatch their armor and get a penetrating shot, you might really do some serious damage and or even take them out of the game with one shot. I know, because I've done that to a Scorpion G. He was very surprised because he was on the move at full speed when I took him out. Round out and a hit on the Oho. 376, and he actually stunned more than one tank at the same time there. Okay, lining up next shot. It's on the VK, who dies to the E75. In fact, there's only 6 enemy tanks left alive now. 2 Artys, 2 tank destroyers, a heavy and a medium. Looking around for a target. There's bound to be some on the river road because there was some seen over there, but well, our eyes are taken by a Borsig near the enemy cap. He's losing hit points now. Spotted by our M56 pattern, who took a big hit. I think that's the 128mm gun though, not the 15cm. Pattern's going in to get the kill on the Borsig. Well, we're going to aim at the M40, M43. He's over in this corner. We're working out where he's headed and laying the shell down in his path. Rounds out. And a direct hit wipes out the M40, M43. So he's taken down one of the enemy Arty, and there's only 2 enemies left now. The M53, M55 and the Foch. And we haven't seen the M53, M55 yet. But he must be over on the east side of the map near the River Road, because our guys have seen everywhere else and they haven't found him yet. But if they do find him, I'm sure that Firehawk 0212 will try to get a shot on him. He wants the counter battery. There he is! He's been found! He's out on that ledge, trying to get shotguns on the enemy. Rounds out on him. Long flight time for the shell, but it is a kill, and that's a counter battery. Only 2 Artys on either side in this game. Now we're looking for the Foch. There he is. He's been found. 257 coming up behind him. Oh, he puts a big round into the rear of the Foch, but the Foch is still alive and he wants some revenge on that Object 257. And he takes some, but he gets shot in the rear by the Striv 1030. And that's the end of the game. So no further shots for Firehawk 0212. Let's have a look at the end of battle results and see how well he got on. Well, it was an ace tanker for Firehawk 0212 in the M53, M55. He managed to get a counter battery. Yes, he did kill both of the enemy Arty. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 14. He got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by others. And his win rate for the game was 3,630. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, it wasn't the highest damage in the game, I'm afraid. No, because the IS-32 on the enemy team did 3,338 hit points of damage. And the next high scorer was Firehawk with 2,910 hit points. After that, the Leopard prototype on the enemy team with 2,640. In fact, actually, no, I'm reading this wrong. It was actually the Jaeger who got the highest damage in the game. I didn't put the filter on the right way round, the order on. 4,742 for the Jaeger, then the IS-3, then it's Firehawk. So we got 3rd place. When it came to kills, it was the Jaeger again with 5 kills. The Striv managed to get 3, so did the Leopard prototype, and 2 kills for Firehawk. And he was the only one who managed to get more than 1 kill, but less than 3. And when it came to base XP, it was Firehawk with 1,118 base experience points, 949 for the 53 TP, who also picked up a Confederate, and 936 to the Jaeger, who got the high caliber and steel wall. He fired 10 rounds, got 4 direct hits, no penetration, 12 splash. Damage of 2,910 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, and 3,745 hit points of stun assist of 10 stuns, and that's why his XP is so high. On a premium count, he earned 61,817 credits, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, he took away 23,117. He got 1 bomb for the Confederate, and 1,677 XP from the battle, ×2 for the first victory, 839 for this completing a mission, and 4,193 experience points altogether. So a particularly good battle there for Firehawk 0212. I think he was happy about that. He worked his position as best he could, and he was sitting out in the open. If the enemy had made it to the gap, I think he probably would have died fairly quickly, but he used the position to good effect and got good shots on the enemy. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel, please. And thank you for watching.